bin, wouldn't you? Now then, a gig in Cheltenham 50 years ago tonight has taken a famous place in musical history. After the Beatles concert in Cheltenham on the 1st of November 1963, the term Beatlemania was first coined.
Tonight, a tribute band is recreating the evening, but if they get anywhere near as many screaming fans, well, it will be quite a night. Our Gloucestershire reporter Steve Nibbs has been to meet some of those who were there.
Half a century ago, the Beatles live in Cheltenham, the opening night of their first ever British headlining tour.
There's about the only shots we could get on the stage from where the position we were in was with this shot. Terribly badly lit, as you can see. You can't even see Ringo.
Mike Charity was one of a handful of press photographers at the gig. Not that he heard much of it.
Of course, every time we turned around and took another picture, the flash got them more excited and they started screaming again.
Such was the stampede of screaming fans at the end, Mike had to run into the wings to escape.
I felt somebody grab my arm and I'm pulled and pushed into, obviously through the wings of the theatre, out through the back door, into a van which was blacked out, and then the van drove off, and 5 minutes later we got out at the Savoy Hotel, which is where the Beatles were staying, and the Beatles were in the van with us. We didn't realise, we couldn't see anything inside the van. We'd travelled with the Beatles.
They came on, the lights went up, and Paul launched into, I saw us standing there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that was it. That was all you heard. You didn't hear a word after that. That was just...
Jo Rees was one of those screaming fans, a die-hard Beatles fan. Along with her friends, they even tracked the band down to their hotel the next morning.
I thought I'd died and gone to heaven. It was just bliss. We said to reception, please could we see the Beatles? Down they came and they bought us coffee. Paul gave me a cigarette. I didn't smoke, so I took it anyway and blew his lighter out.
But again, as a Beatles fan, it must have been amazing.
It was incredible, yeah. They were so nice.
It wasn't just the Beatles that played at the Odeon back in the 60s, but other big names such as the Rolling Stones. But today, the Odeon is a shadow of its former self. It closed as a cinema back in 2006, and 50 years on from that famous gig, is now due to be demolished for new Regency apartments. The venue may be gone, but the music isn't. Tonight, this West Country tribute act will be recreating the gig at the Parabola Arts Centre.
It's magical just to think about the history and the fact that the Beatles were here in Cheltenham 50 years ago. And what we'd really like to do is people who are at that original gig to come along tonight, and we'd like the opportunity to meet them and talk to them about their memories of that night.
It may have been many years ago, but for the fans, the gig that spawned Beatlemania only feels like yesterday. Steve Nibbs, BBC Points West, Cheltenham.
And will the crowd be screaming?
Well, who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't?
Now, talking of screaming, let's catch up on the weather. Well, it's enough to make you scream sometimes, isn't it? Ian is here with the forecast.
Try doing the job, David, I can assure you. You're screaming in your sleep sometimes as well. Well, this